Now, is this the first protest, Occupy protest you've gone to? Okay.
No, I've been here since day one, actually, from the last week at noon, and then in the evening, and then we had.
How many people were here last week?
I don't know, maybe 150.
150. That's a pretty good number.
I was attending the Bioneers Conference actually last weekend.
Okay.
So that's a 3-day affair, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I came down here on Saturday when the first group gathered on my lunch hour for Bioneers Conference at NMC, the Bioneers Conference.
Right.
And then, and I'm a volunteer there, so I had duties.
Now, how long is this one today supposed to last?
It's open-ended.
It's open-ended?
Yeah.
Okay, so it could go overnight if possibly, or...
Well, whatever folks want to do, or whatever the crowd decides.
Now obviously the Occupy Wall Street OWS is the acronym. If there was one message that you think that could be coalesced, or is there one message, or is it several messages?
There's no one message. No. This movement's way too young to have an agenda that's hard and fast and fixed. I mean, we had a General Assembly this morning. We broke up into. We were formed committees. Now this is the first.
That's
time
interesting. Okay.
It's the first time that's been done. But we had
I've heard the General Assembly thing done. I've never known what it means. So so you say how many different committees would it break up into?
I think there was maybe 9.
Wow. Okay. All right.
In total.
To address specific issues, or
specific issues with respect to the movement. In other words, we have a committee for promotions.
Okay.
We have a committee for security. Safety and security. We don't want people getting run
walking into the street, right?
We have a committee for outreach, for education. We have a committee for voter registration.
Okay.
So it's just an organizational thing to get this whole crowd of people, get a group of people together thinking about the same thing, and then moving forward and implementing those things.
Okay.
I'm on carpooling.
Okay.
So that we don't all drive our cars down.
Sure.
And pollute the atmosphere.
The traffic is busy, and
so we need, if we've got a bunch of people in East Bay Township and we're coming out here, we need to not all drive our separate vehicles. So it's that organizational thing. It's what the General Assembly.
Now, have there been any suggested solutions that if when you're talking to people who are either reporting or blogging or what have you? Are there any suggestions that you have for the solution to these problems?
The issues have not been framed yet, at least with respect to this group of people. All right, we're just in solidarity with the movement that started really all over the world. And as time goes on, this is planned to be every Saturday till, it's open-ended.
Till something happens that changes the whole paradigm, right?
Until some change begins to happen, exactly. Okay. Until it grows to other cities and also other people in the immediate area get on board, so that the movement needs to be bigger than it is right now.
Okay.
Obviously. I mean,
well, I've seen it's over a couple thousand groups throughout the world right now, from what I gather now.
The issues will be framed as time goes on, but they're not. We're not going to say, you got to close down Chase Bank.
Right.
We don't have an agenda that's hard.
Would you agree that we need to get government out of bailing out banks?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of common sense things that I guess we don't even have to discuss. We already know that bailing out banks and letting people, throwing people out of their homes, those two don't match.
Right.
We got to fix that situation.
Would there?
What I'd say, if there's one thing that we have talked about, that is getting the money out of politics, and in fact, overturning the Supreme Court decision
How do you overturn a Supreme Court decision on this?
You have a constitutional amendment.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple
That's
websites
true.
that have
That's the
already
way to do
started.
it. Okay.
One's called Move to Amend, and the other one's called Get the Money Out, and it's to get this decision that corporations have the same rights as individuals
Okay.
with respect to spending unlimited amounts of money and buying politicians. A constitutional amendment is probably the only way that's going to happen.
Right.
And I think that if there is a one single issue that at least, I guess you could say I'm in some sort of leadership. There are no leaders per se, but
No authority within the.
okay, that's the way to put it. Yeah.
Because there's always leaders. I mean, you could be a leader and just by being able to stand up and speak where other people can't, right?
Exactly. But some of the things that one of the things that we have talked about is, and one of the things that we think is most important is basically getting this money out of politics, because we can stand out here and yell till we're blue in the face, but as long as corporations have all the money and we have none, and as long as they have the Supreme Court on their side, it's been a long, hard struggle. So getting that constitutional amendment to get the money out of politics.
Would that be your solution if there was one thing to go for right away? I mean, is that
that's probably as high on the list as you can get.
Okay.
I think June Thadden was she's not there right now. She's circulating a clipboard with there's like 5 items on it, and she wanted everybody to label their number 1, 2, 3. What was their most important thing. I don't like doing surveys like that because the question's already framed,
right.
And you don't have a choice. Well, actually, no, she did have a spot at the bottom where you can kind of like do your own.
But it requires you to stop and look at what the options were already. Sure.
So I don't know what she's going to do with all the survey that she's conducted here today, but
All right.
It's a good thing though.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. My name's Jason.
Okay, Jason, I'm David.
Thanks.